Hi everyone and welcome back to Talking DS. My name is Susan Syrek and today we have a very special guest for you. We have Brianna Fade from Fade Fit coming in to talk to us today. So thank you so much, Brianna, for coming in. I really appreciate your time.
Thank you so much for having me.
Now, I want to start off this conversation a little bit differently today.
Okay.
I have heard a number of times you explaining about yourself and saying how you describe yourself as being shy and reserved. And I remember I really resonated with that because I am extremely introverted. I find just doing the whole Dirham Stretcher community and this podcast as well, it's really I get nervous for days and days beforehand. And for you, I mean, you've got a large following. You've got over 300,000 followers on Instagram. I mean, you're a well-known personality in your own right, as well as being married to one. So how do you balance that personal nature that you have with the public life?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly. So I am definitely a bit of an introvert. I've always kind of been behind the scenes or, took the, behind the computer role with all my, things that I've done. And with my husband, Chris Fade, he is a very well-known, celebrity in the region. And it just comes with the territory, to be honest. I'm still shy. I'm so reserved. I still do get the nerves as well, like you, considering I've been on TV and I'm the, influencer and all these things.
Yeah.
I just, as I said, it comes with the territory, but you just kind of have to do it. There are times where I definitely value my privacy and my time. And if you do follow me, I don't post every moment of my day because I have those times where, when I'm with crews or working, I just don't have the time to do it, but I also value just that privacy and not always having to be on. But then again, it comes with the territory, you're married to somebody like Chris, it's just part of it. So there's a bit of a balance there.
Okay. So do you sometimes have a bit of a clash between you and your husband over what gets shared and what doesn't get shared?
So because of who he is, he always has to be on, right? With the radio, being a reality TV star and an influencer and ambassador. Yeah. His life is on his phone and not in a bad way. Okay. It's just, people love actually to see what he does. And I do have to remember that people actually follow us and are engaged in their fans and followers because we're family and they like those candid moments. They like those, authentic, real moments. So I have to remember that when he's out with his camera, sometimes I want to be I'm in my pajamas or something or my face is not done. Yeah. But people love that realness. And it comes with the territory. So I do appreciate that as well.
That's true. That's true. So has there been any times that you've been overwhelmed by the public attention and what did you do about it?
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, whenever I'm put on stage or, in a public, place, I do have a bit of nerves. It's not necessarily overwhelming, but I do, at times I have had stage fright, so you kind of feel overwhelmed. When specifically, if I'm at the mall, and I'm just shopping on my own and I'm kind of zoned out, right? Shopping for me is kind of my retail therapy. So I'm not thinking about, being approached by people, and not that it's overwhelming, but it's sometimes it surprises me, not in a bad way, but I'm I don't think it's going to happen because I'm in kind of my own little world. Yeah. So it's not overwhelming, but it's I have to remember that this is going to happen.
Nice, right? And and I'm sure that happens a lot when you go to the mall,
It does. Yeah. But it's great. I love it.
Okay. Yeah. So now I want to switch back and talk to you about Fade Fit. Yes. Now, as a mother of 4 kids, I have firsthand experience with, buying snacks for my kids. And on the odd occasion where I do take them to the supermarket, they're always going for the sugary and the horrible things, right? It's just full of additives and preservatives and all the rest of it. And whenever I do show them something, a healthy alternative, it's usually they don't like it or it's just really expensive. So how does Fade Fit, how are they able to create a food that my kids love and yet keeping it low with costs? Like, how are you able to manage that?
Yeah, I mean, I know that's every parent's struggle.
Exactly.
Cruise is only 9 months now, but I'm sure I'm going to have to face those, issues later on. But I mean, that's why Fade Fit started.
Yeah,
It started when the girls, Nushi and Kiki, Chris's daughters and my stepdaughters were young, and we realized that there was a gap in the market for healthier options.
Yes.
Yet tasty. Now I say healthier options because our snacks, and I feel like the word healthy and like healthy foods is very kind of like controversial, and maybe depending on people's tastes and opinions, right? What is healthy and what is not.
Yep.
So we wanted to find a snack that was a healthier option, was tasty. I mean, if you look at the ingredients of our snacks, they're made of dates, Rice Krispies, and cocoa powder. Very like basic, nothing. Right? The first snack was actually just that.
Yeah.
Now we did find that parents loved it.
Yeah.
Some kids loved it, not all kids. So we did add a dark chocolate coating and a milk chocolate coating to it to make it a little bit more like a treat for kids.
Exactly.
But still a healthier option, still a better option than most what you find out there.
Sure.
And when it comes to price, we do want to make sure that we're competitive, you know, and we never want to be, it is expensive to make a healthier snack and things like that, but we never want to be too expensive where it's out of reach and obtainable for most. So we definitely always want to hit those like affordable prices.
Exactly. Because like as a mother, like I don't have time to make those healthy snacks at home, right? With all those basic ingredients. So it's great to have that option in the shop where I can go get it and know that I'm feeding my kids something good and yet not necessarily having to spend so much on it. So you're the brand manager in Fade Fit.
Correct.
So as a brand manager, how do you keep to those core values of keeping the cost low and keeping it, the range of products tasty? You know, you got new products, you've got the vitamins, you got the protein bowls and everything else. So how do you keep those costs low?
Sure, yeah. So whenever we release a new category of snacks or products, we always look at what's in the market, you know, and we look at prices from other companies and what people are buying. So we definitely want to be competitive in the market. Yeah. So we always kind of put our products at a more affordable and competitive price when we have them in shelves.
Okay.
And then we kind of work backwards. Then we say, okay, what's the cost to the store? What's the cost from the manufacturer to distribution? So we have a lot of chains of networks to get through, you know, before actually having them on the shelves.
Yeah.
And in these kind of industries, you know, you work on very small margins. So if it means, you know, lowering our margins or negotiating with the manufacturer to go at a lower cost, we'll do that because we never want to. We're not in it really to make money. If you understand the industry, like we're very profits are very minuscule, and we make it even harder on ourselves because we have zero investment from any outside.
Oh, wow.
It's completely funded by Chris and myself. Like
that's amazing.
The business is completely 100% his.
I love that. It's a small business. It's like it's really you stay true to your core values and ethics, and that's like much power to you. I love it.
Yeah. I love it. But again, we want to build a brand, and we want people to be able to try us and have us, and, you know, hopefully grow the brand to where it's at that, you know. Yeah. We want to grow the brand to where, you know, it's an international brand and people are recognizing the brand, and it's a household name as well. So.
Exactly. So Fade Fit started in 2019, correct?
2019.
So and since then, like, you've grown to be this huge multi-million company, and you've expanded beyond the GCC, and you've gone into other countries as well now. Yeah. So can you give us any tips or any strategies for other small businesses that look at you and go, wow, like, you've grown so much. How can I kind of aspire to that kind of growth?
Well, as I mentioned, there is no investment in our company. It's completely funded by us. Yeah. Not necessarily do I recommend that because it does take a lot to grow a brand. I know there's, you know, products and people who have an idea, and the idea is amazing, or that product's so good. Yeah. But for it to get in the shelves, like, especially if you're trying to aim for retailers like Carrefour or Spinneys in the region, it is not cheap to get there. Okay. You know, there's listing prices. Obviously, they take their own percentage. And if you want a good visibility, you have to pay for that. You have to pay for that. Yeah. You know, if you want to be at the end of the gondola, you know, those, you know, are expenses. So definitely you need to have funds and
I suppose a good team behind you as well. That really helps because there's so much in the business. When you start the business off, it's just you think it's just straightforward and this and that and you'll get it done. No, there's so much that like catches you by surprise. And
yeah, I mean, we had the idea to have a snack company, Fade Fit, but if it wasn't for our team Imagine, they're FMCG consultants, so fast moving consumer goods. This is what they do, and they manage a few other brands in the region. So without their advice and their knowledge, we wouldn't have been able to do what we're doing now.
Amazing. Okay, that's some good tips in that case. So I just want to say thank you because Brianna and the team have agreed to give everyone listening and our community a 20% discount for all the Fade Fit products. And all you need to do is go onto fadefit.com and you can type in DS20. I recommend for kids at school. I love the yogurt sticks.
Oh, yes.
They are fantastic. Throw them in the freezer overnight. Put them especially now during the summertime, put them in the lunchbox. And by lunchtime, they're thawed out, they're nice and cool, and it keeps the entire lunchbox nice and cool as well. So
that's a good tip. That's a good tip. And it's nice. It's like a little lolly as well.
Exactly. So, like I remember growing up in Australia, we had something similar. So that's it. Like it brings back childhood memories. So it's nice. So make sure you use the 20% discount. Worthwhile. Now, one last thing before we go. And this is a little surprise.
Oh, okay.
Now, you've been to Australia a couple of times.
I have a few times.
Yeah. And you've also been with your husband, Australian husband, for a number of years now.
Right.
I want to know how much Aussie lingo you have learned over the years. All right.
Okay, this is fun.
Okay. So this is question one.
They're not the bad ones.
No.
Good.
This is all good.
Okay, good.
Okay, first question is, what do Aussies mean when they say the word Macca's?
Macca's, McDonald's.
Oh, very good.
Yeah, I know that one.
That's too easy. Should have done that.
Easy.
All right, question 2. What is a dunny?
Ooh, dunny.
Dunny.
Can I have it in a sentence?
I need to go to the dunny.
Oh, it's not the loo, is it?
Bullseye.
Is it really? I've never heard of that one.
Really? Okay, so just for everyone who's wondering, a dunny is an outside toilet.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Okay.
So, like, obviously, we don't have those anymore for a number of years. But,
people still refer.
But, people still refer to it as dunny. So, if you go back to Oz, then you can go.
They'll be impressed.
Yeah, exactly. They will be impressed. All right, the last question. And this is a true or false.
Okay.
Wearing a helmet made of eucalyptus leaves will protect you from drop bears.
Drop bears?
Yeah.
A helmet? Oh my God. I want to say true because it sounds ridiculous. So it's probably true.
Actually, false.
Okay, darn.
I don't know if you've heard of the term drop bears before.
No.
But okay, so drop bears are what Aussies refer to as koalas.
Oh,
but they're not real, and they are koalas with fangs, and they drop on tourists from trees, but they're not real.
Oh, it doesn't happen.
This is what Australians just try and scare tourists with.
Okay.
But, so you're all good. So there's no such thing as drop bears. But there you go. You learned something. So if anyone says to you, watch out for the drop bears, you know they're lying.
Okay.
So that's all the questions I had. Thank you so much. I had such a good time. Thank you for coming. I really, really appreciate it.
Of course. Thank you for having me. It was great. I had a good time.
Awesome. Okay, so before we wrap up, can you tell the viewers where we can find you on socials, on websites?
Yeah, so if you are in the UAE, you can find Fade Fit. You can order from Fade Fit at fadefit.com, and then on socials on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at Fade Fit.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Thank you for listening. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and turn on those notifications so you never miss any of our content. We'd love to hear your thoughts, so drop a comment below and let us know what you think or what you'd like to hear next. And until next time, keep stretching those dirhams.